Alright guys, what's up? So this is going to be something new I'm going to do on my channel. It's going to be a movie review, and if you can see, it is a movie review of the 2017 It, which is a new adaptation of Stephen King's best-selling novel. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Some of this video is going to be a spoiler-free, and then some of it's going to have spoilers in it. But this movie absolutely blew my mind. I would give it it's amazing. Okay, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It is well worth the payment, and it is well worth the crowded theaters. And I believe they're making like 117 million off their weekend. That's like their opening weekend, which is amazing as holy hell. So I am going to get into this movie, okay? So long story short, it opens with the whole Georgie and Pennywise, and that scene's amazing. It's great. You gotta check it out if you haven't seen it. It's amazing. What am I gonna say here? Pennywise doesn't get much screen time. I mean, he got more than I thought he was going to get from hearing people say, "Oh, it's like 15 to 20 minutes." And you're thinking, "Oh, well, that's not a whole lot in a 2-hour movie." But oh my God, he is one of the driving forces of this movie. The other driving force is, of course, the New Losers Club. Their acting is impeccable. Like, they have so much chemistry together, and you feel like they've known each other forever. It's amazing. The scares were pretty good. They weren't the best scares you can ever get in a movie. I mean, not many movies can do that, but it was a really good, it was really good scares. I actually really enjoyed it. And this is coming up on my screen. Sorry. Oh my God, close. Pretty sure one close. Yes, okay. It is amazing. Like I said. So the New Losers Club, they've got amazing chemistry, like I've said, and they really work well with Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, to me, is better. Is better, if not equal to Tim Curry, in my thought, anyway. And this movie just blew me away. It was amazing. It's definitely worth the money you'd pay to see it. I'm actually going to see it twice. We're probably going to leave in 30 minutes or so and go see it a second time. It's amazing. So like I was saying, the scares aren't the best that they could be, but they are there and they're pretty good. The movie's not reliant on jump scares, however, there is quite a few jump scares. There is some gore. There's definitely some gore. It's not too terrible, but there is quite a bit of blood. There is kids dying, so you might want to keep that in mind. The movie, to me, felt like it could have been longer, and I wouldn't have minded. Like, I know it was 2 hours and I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes, but they could have made that movie a lot longer, and I would have sat through it because it was pretty amazing. And but yeah, like I've said, it was well worth what you would pay for it. Now, being a reader of the book, I read the book, and it's just, I don't know, it's got elements from the book, and it has references to certain stuff in the book, like the turtle. If you've read the book, the turtle is mentioned, or referenced quite a bit. The black spot is mentioned. The Ironworks fire is mentioned. There's a lot of different stuff that's mentioned. I will say though, Sophia Lillis, one of those two, she takes the cake as the best loser, like the best actor for the losers. She is like the outstanding loser out of all of them. The second is Finn Wolfhard as Richie Tozier. He is amazing. So here in a second, I am going to skip to the spoilers. So half of it's going to be spoiler free, half of it's not. I'll give you a second to get everything in order. If you haven't seen the movie, you can click off now, whatever you want. So yeah, at the end of the movie though, when lights started coming on for my theater, all I could think was,
"No, get those lights off! Off!"
And then, I was like, oh man, I really don't want to leave, but I've got to. This movie was epic, guys. Now we are going to get into the spoilers. I'm going to talk about some of the scares and how effective they were, and maybe some of the dialogue and what goes on. Alright, so I'll give you guys about 10 seconds to click off. And if you're clicking off now because you haven't seen it, I will definitely see you guys in the next video. And peace, guys. Subscribe. Alright, everybody's clicked off? Okay, so this movie had amazing scares. The first scare, I don't know if you'd call the Georgie scene a scare, really, but there were a couple teenage girls in the theater that were scared when Pennywise shows himself to Georgie. Something I want to talk on though is some of the CGI in this movie did look a little wonky, but it's not enough to throw the movie off. You're still going to enjoy this movie. Now, it's not Star Wars level CGI, obviously, because they had a small budget for this movie. But it does have a good enough CGI that you are still going to be scared by some of this stuff. For instance, a few scares that really stuck out in my mind were the projector screen, where Pennywise sticks his head and his arms and everything out of the projector, and he's huge, like he's bigger than the house, like he's almost as big as the house, right? And he's crawling around in the garage trying to grab people. It's scary as shit, and I definitely recommend you check it out. The next scare, which that wasn't one of the first scares, that was one of the later scares, but Stan's scare, instead of it being to the dead kids in the standpipe like it was in the book, it is now some weird painting of a woman. And really, I thought she kind of looked like that one. She resembled Mama from Andy Muschietti's movie Mama. Kinda like it kind of looked like her, but not too much. But it was still pretty damn amazing. It was a good scare. It got people screaming in my theater. It was awesome. I'm not going to speak on all the scares. I want you guys to have some. The one scene that really stood out for me, though, is when Pennywise is contorted inside of a refrigerator. And he comes out of the refrigerator and he's just walking towards Eddie, you know, and he's acting all weird and shit. And then, like, Eddie starts crying and wheezing and stuff, and Pennywise just starts to make fun of him. Like, he sits there and completely demeans him. And, like, he's laughing in his face, and he's making fun of his breathing, and he's drooling all over the place. It's amazing. You guys definitely do need to check it out. It is one of the best movies of 2017. It is the best movie of 2017 for me. Me being a Stephen King fan, I was kind of disappointed with The Dark Tower. It was a really big letdown. It was like terrible to me. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was really bad. I don't know what the damn difference is, but it was really bad. This movie is definitely top 5 horror movies of all time for me. I think it sits at 2. I don't know, it might sit at 1 for me. I don't know. I'll just have to see after I see it again today without a lot of teenagers screaming and yelling and bitching about everything. We actually heard a few people bitch coming out of the theater. They thought it was going to be like a movie where a dude in a clown outfit was chasing people and stuff. It wasn't like, you know, interdimensional being that can shapeshift into different stuff and also shapeshifts into a clown. Apparently they thought this was going to be one movie about like somebody like John Wayne Gacy, you know, dressing up like a clown and killing people. You know, it was pretty good. Pennywise's voice is amazing. He really nailed the part. And like I said, Bill Skarsgård and Sophia Lillis and Finn Wolfhard are really the standouts for this movie. They are kind of what made this movie really good. Like, this movie was good anyway, but they kind of brought a new level of realism to the movie that was amazing. So, I believe I'm going to leave you guys here. In the comments, why don't you tell me what Pennywise would have to transform into to scare you? If he was trying to get you it was trying to get you so scared to eat you, what would it have to transform into to scare you? Let me know in the comments, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, before I go, I would definitely give this movie a solid 9.5 out of 10. It is one of the best movies of this year, and I think it will be one of the best horror movies of this decade. Alright, guys, so this is where I leave you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.